Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We're going to be doing another Top 5 Friday. Today I'm going to be showing TV shows that in my opinion were cancelled way too early. First up is True Calling. True Calling lasted 2 seasons, its first being 21 episodes I believe, and its second being a mere 6 episodes. I don't really understand why they gave it a second season when they just cancelled it after 6 episodes. Because cancelling it then just left so many unanswered questions, there were so many different paths opening up that didn't get finished or explained, and if they finished it at the end of season 1 it would have been on a cliffhanger, but it wouldn't have been so many loose ends, it would have been a bit more wrapped up than it is now. Just to give you a quick rundown of what True Calling was about. True, played by Elijah Dushku, I can never say her last name, apologies. She's working at a morgue just to try and boost her resume I think, because she wants to get into medical school from what I can remember off the top of my head. So she goes there to work, and in doing so she discovers that bodies come back alive for like 2 seconds, muttering the words "help me," and when that happens the entire day rewinds back and True has to somehow find a way to save that person from dying. As the show progressed, I think about halfway through season 1, a new character called Jack got introduced, and his job was literally the opposite of True's. He would also rewind in time whenever True got a body that's asked her for help, but his goal was to stop True from saving that person, so there was kind of like this whole thing going on there. It just worked so well, and I think the box set's really cheap. It's a shame that the second season's 6 episodes long and cuts off just when everything's about to kick off, but I really recommend checking it out because it was such a great show. Next up is Dark Angel. Dark Angel also lasted 2 seasons, but it managed to get a full run of its second season to completion, so as much as it had cliffhangers, it did get to wrap up sort of some loose ends. Dark Angel followed a young woman called Max, who escapes from a facility at a young age, and then as she grows older, she bumps into people who've also escaped from the facility itself, and it's just a back and forth like that. It's really, really good. I really recommend checking it out. There's so much to it, and there's a lot more to go into the story. That's just a very quick, brief thing. But I also want to quickly say, I think it was like Jensen Ackles who plays Dean Winchester on Supernatural's first acting job, and he does a really, really awesome job. He comes into the second season when Dark Angel kind of takes a sci-fi twist in the second season where it didn't have anything like that in the first season, but it's still a really great season and I really, like I said, recommend it. Next up is Dollhouse. Dollhouse lasted 2 seasons, and just like Dark Angel it got a full run of its second season, but Dollhouse's seasons compared to Dark Angel's were a lot smaller. Season 1 and Season 2 only had 36 episodes each, whereas Dark Angel had 22 or 21 episodes in both seasons. Dollhouse follows a young woman called Echo, who we believe has willingly, just from cutscenes, and we'll find out later on for the seasons if it's true or not, has willingly given herself to this organisation that wipes her entire brain clean, so she has no memory, she's just like an empty slate. And what they can do is then program different personalities into her brain, and she can become completely different people. This leads her to becoming like a bank robber, an assassin, a scientist, a housewife at some point. Like, she can go through so many different personas throughout the entire series, and that's what makes it such an interesting series. She can do so many different things, there's just so much to it. Next up is Reaper. Reaper, like the other shows, lasted for 2 seasons and also got a full run of both of its seasons. But it left it on a massive cliffhanger and left a lot of stuff unexplained, so unlike Dark Angel and Dollhouse, there wasn't really a wrap up, it wasn't really finished at all. Reaper follows a young man named Sam, whose parents sold his soul before he was born to the devil. So when his 21st birthday comes around, the devil comes a-knocking and actually recruits him to be a bounty hunter to capture escaped evil souls from hell. Reaper is a comedy, adventure, horror genre, like a hybrid, mainly comedy, and it's hilarious. I can't recommend it enough. It's such a shame it got cancelled after its second season because it leads up the cliffhanger switched to like angels coming from the sky, from what I remember. I can't quite remember it, but I remember being really amazed as a kid while it was happening, and then the announcer at the end of the show was like, "It's a shame, we'll never know what happens," as it got cancelled. Perfect! And the last one is called Blood Ties. Blood Ties lasted for an entire season here in the UK, so 1 whole season, and in America it was counted as 2 seasons. I'm not entirely sure how it worked, but here in the UK season 1 was 22 episodes long, and then in America season 1 was like split in half, so it went from episodes 1 to 13 and then 14 to 22 or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but in reality it technically only lasted 1 season. It was a little low budget and it was a little cheesy at times, but it was really good. I can't remember her name, who plays the lead character in it. I can't actually remember the lead character's name, so I'm doing a great job of remembering what this story is about already. It follows a young woman, a detective, I believe. She stumbles upon a vampire and there's like a love interest between the two, and it's really good, it's well done. But she ends up having to fight loads of like demons and like evil monsters and possessed ghosts, and like her agency, where it was first for like humans, becomes like a place for like lost souls and stuff like that to come and ask for help. It's a really great show. It has some funny moments and dark moments, and it's really well made. To say it's low budget, and it is a bit cheesy, I know I keep saying it's well made and it's also them two things, but it's a really, really good show, and I think it ends on a cliffhanger as well, with somewhat like I don't really spoil it in case anyone see, but someone turns evil and then it just ends, from what I remember. It's been a long time since I watched that as well, but I need to get on that as well. But I recommend that. I think that's probably the cheapest one you can buy. I think you can get that for like £2-3 if you want to. I do recommend it. Great show. But I'm just going to give some honourable mentions quickly to Nikita, which is one of my all-time favourite TV shows. The reason I didn't include it in the top 5 is because it kind of got to finish. It was also 4 seasons long, so it lasted a lot longer than the other shows that I mentioned. Next is the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I loved. I remember watching that a long time ago. I had both of them on DVD, and I've been meaning to rewatch them both recently, but I never got around to it because I'm shit. And lastly is Ugly Betty. Again, I didn't include it because it lasted for 4 seasons. It kind of got to finish. It was just very, very rushed because it got cancelled towards the end. But I loved Ugly Betty. Such a funny show, and that's also something I really want to rewatch. I heard it was meant to be getting a 5th season coming back or something. Not entirely sure how true that is, but if that happens, I'll be quite happy. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Apologies if it's a bit chopped and like all over the place. The camera died. I'm not feeling too great today. I've got a cold and a headache, so I'm a bit like meh. But if you did enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and follow my social medias, links in the description below. Thank you for watching, you're amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!